What's good, y'all? It's your boy Shane Hector coming at you live from WPGR Studio. No BS, no holds barred sports talk show is back in the building. Myself and Mr. Unregulated is back.
Yes, I am.
We are back at it again, man. It's been real out here in these streets.
I don't know about that. I haven't been in the street, Shane, in years. Maybe the bar, but not the streets.
He said maybe not the bar. Look, folks, that number to call is going to be 301-429-9247, okay? That's going to be the number to call. These are the topics we're talking about today. A lot of stuff, man. There's a lot. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. You know, football was highly interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of
It wasn't competitive.
Yeah, I tried to tell you that New England we wasn't gonna lose. Like I told you that wasn't gonna happen. Like
what is Edelman's problem?
oh I already told you this. I mean he had that he got caught with PEDs. You know. He says it was a paperwork problem. His lawyer said it was a paperwork problem. The NFL said it was a paperwork problem. But you still suspend him for 4 games because he tested positive. So I'm like, if it was a paperwork issue, you still suspended him though? I'm like, you know, whatever. I guess you just wanted to stick it to him just because he's a Patriot. And I get it.
I want to stick it to him because I seen Drew Brees throw him a pass last night. He was wide open. And when the ball got to his hand, it was like it was a medicine ball that weighed 50 pounds, and he just couldn't grab it. He just couldn't grip it.
Okay, either way, I said this before. When it comes to New England, when they played the Dolphins, from the very first play, I already knew the writing on the wall. I already knew they was going to beat the brakes off the Dolphins because the Dolphins had to be reminded who was boss. That 3-0 was cute, but they had to be reminded who was boss. Now, it was cute, though. I'm not going to lie. Them starting on 3-0 was kind of cute.
Yeah, it was.
But I told people, this is what people got to understand about New England. You can't sit here and say, at least you shouldn't say this in 2018, that New England is falling off. Because they're not. They clearly are not. And they dropped 38 points in the past 2 games now. Now, granted, last night, you know, that was the Colts. Because we already know. Everybody knows the Colts ain't the best team in the league. But they do have a good quarterback in Andrew Luck, who threw for 365 last night, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, threw that interception. But at the end of the day, the point is Tom Brady hasn't missed a beat. Now, his receivers, on the other hand, they are missing a beat. Because I've seen there was a lot of highs in that game and a lot of lows. First off, what I didn't like about last night, defensively they gave it 24 points, which wasn't too bad, but that's because it came later in the game. But what bothered me was the lack of ball security and them dropping passes. I mean, they were dropping more passes than they dropped panties. It was ridiculous. I mean, I just don't get it.
They dropped more balls. Then they drop panties.
And they drop panties.
They must not be getting a lot of panties there. Something ain't right.
So that's what it is. And I've gotten to this point where, you know, like I said, I mean, next week, you know, the New England's gonna have their work cut out for them. These next couple of weeks are gonna be tough for them. You know, they're gonna have to see the Chiefs. They're gonna have to see a lot of tough teams within these next couple of weeks. So it's not going to be simple. However, I do believe they will make the playoffs, but them getting to the Super Bowl, that will depend on who they see in the AFC Championship. Because if they see Jacksonville, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of very optimistic. I don't think that they probably will get past Jacksonville.
What about Baltimore?
I'm not worried about Baltimore.
You're not worried about Baltimore?
Because Baltimore's defense, you can throw on those guys all day long.
So are you worried about Kansas City?
Huh?
Are you worried about Kansas City?
Nope, because we're going to talk about them later on in the show,
okay.
Actually. Because we actually have a topic dedicated to that. But nope, I ain't worried about Kansas
Week 5,
City.
And the Patriots record is what? 3-2?
Mm-hmm.
That don't sound like the Patriots that I know.
You do realize the year they went to the Super Bowl and beat the Falcons, they started off 2-2. Right? I'm sorry, 3-1. Then the year before, and then in 2014 when they beat Seattle, they would started off 2-2. You do know that, right?
Was that the year that Brady was out for the first couple of games or something?
No, that was the Falcons year.
Okay.
Okay, Seattle was was when they played the Seahawks, and they beat Seattle 28-24 that season. They started off 2-2, and it was a bad 2-2 because they were giving up points like it was no tomorrow.
I just got this bad feeling in my gut about the Patriots, and I don't think. I mean, I think the Patriots will make the playoffs. They're good enough to make the playoffs. Tom Brady looks sharp. I just don't think that this is one of those years where they'll probably end up 10-6. I mean, they've lost 2 games already, and it doesn't look like the team is clicking on all cylinders. So I mean,
again, they've started off 2-2 before. Mm-hmm. I've seen this movie before. They've started off 2-2 before. In fact, the year I'll never forget this. Back in 2003. When they traded Lawyer Malloy over to the Bills and Drew Bledsoe was the Bills quarterback, they started off 0-2 that year, and next thing you know, they went on a 14-game winning streak. It just happens like that for New England.
Right. So you've seen this movie before, right?
Yeah, I've seen this movie before.
But this movie is a remake of the movie that you've seen before. The ending is not always. This ending may not be the same.
It may not always be the same, but they usually always end up making an AFC Championship bare minimum.
I don't know. This year seems. I see Kansas City. I see Baltimore.
Number one offense, yes, with the number 25 defense. I think I'm going to choose New England, who has a much better defense than Kansas City. I said if they see Baltimore, they'll beat Baltimore, but they're not leaving that game alive. I can guarantee that.
But
if they see Jacksonville, I don't think they're beating Jacksonville.
Have you considered that they may see Baltimore in Baltimore?
Why would they see Baltimore in Baltimore?
Right now, the record says that it's possible that they won't have home field advantage.
No, ain't nobody would. No, because I know Baltimore. They're gonna find a way to lose games. They always do. Always have and always will. Baltimore never. In New England's history, I have never seen New England have to ever go to Baltimore because of their record. They never have, and honestly, probably never will. Never will. Just because Baltimore just doesn't play that great. They just don't. Period.
Exactly what you said. History. His story. That's your story.
You can tell me all you want that the Ravens are going to get this home field advantage.
Well, I'm not saying the Ravens particularly. I'm talking about maybe the Ravens, maybe Kansas City, where whoever they play, they may have to travel. And I mean, that don't look good for New England.
The only team I could see them ever traveling to is Jacksonville. But the only reason why I can't see Jacksonville is because some strange reason they have a mental lapse when they play the Titans, because for some odd reason the Titans just have their number.
Yeah.
For some strange reason. But other than that, that's the only team. And that's the team, honestly, I've said this before to people outside of the show. That is honestly the team I don't want to see in the playoffs. I don't want to see them. I do not want to see Jacksonville because they are the number one defense. They're only giving up 14 points a game when you round it off, but it's really more like 13.9 points per game. That is honestly some of the best I've ever seen in the history of the NFL so far, outside of maybe the 85 Bears, but that was a different time. But this team is only giving up 14 points a game, only 259 yards a game, 259 yards. Brady's not going to average 259 yards against that. And then when we played them, he threw for 276, but it didn't end well. Yeah, they got smashed. So, no, I don't want to see them. Kansas City, on the other hand, no. I would actually, if I had to choose between those two teams, who I would rather see, I would rather see Kansas City because Kansas City can be stopped because they have the number one offense. But I also know that our defense is much better than their defense because without Eric Berry, they've shown that they're not doing too well. Now, they are supposed to get Eric Berry back in a couple of weeks. But that's not to say that these guys are going to do anything special. I'm not worried about Kansas City. But the Jaguars, on the other hand, I'm sorry. Offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships.
Yeah, true. But I would definitely worry about Kansas City because when you look at every year there's a quarterback, a young quarterback or a young running back that has a spectacular season, and the team, and it just seems like the team has a season that is written for a fairy tale. So I mean, when you look at Philadelphia, Carson Wentz. So I'm looking at this Kansas City team, and this may be the year that Kansas City does some things that people could not even imagine. I'm just saying. New England. I mean, New England fans. I know you're used to winning. The tradition is a really good tradition, but this is the year that you have to be worried. You have to have some concerns.
No, you said that last week, and
I'm gonna say it every week.
130.
This is the year.
38. Is it 38-7? You said that right before this Colts game, and they clearly won 38-24. And then if they go into the next week and they drop another 38 points, then what you're gonna say?
I mean, I got a feeling in my gut that says this is the year that they go 10-6.
I don't think
they lose. I mean, I just don't. I mean, 3-2 now. The next 4 games. How many would they win out of the next 4 games? Maybe 3. Okay, so I mean, then that's 3 losses on their record. Then the next 4 games. I mean, you know.
Like I said, I'm not worried because I already know the Bills are trash. I know the Jets is trash, and the Dolphins. We had to remind them who they really are. So
somebody else thought the Jets were trash too. Who was that?
Well, the Browns already beat them, so you know, got their first win.
I can't remember last week, the week before. Somebody thought the Jets was trash, and I think did the Jets beat someone?
I don't know who the Jets beat.
I can't remember, but they definitely they trashed somebody this year who thought they were trash.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go straight into the picks. Let's just go into it. So, here's what I'm going to say about some of these picks. Well, New England already won. So, you got Jets and Broncos. That's going to be I already got the Broncos winning that one. That's not even that's an afterthought to me.
I agree.
Clearly we got a typo here because the Dolphins definitely shouldn't be up there twice. Should be Bengals and Dolphins. The Bengals are probably going to beat the brakes off them. And let's see, the Packers and Lions. Well, so Colin Cowherd actually saw this on his show right before I got here. Is that Aaron Rodgers is basically? I'm actually mad that he actually made that comparison, but I hate to say it. The reports that are coming out of Green Bay I'm not too surprised. He reported that Aaron Rodgers is Jay Cutler just with better talent. I was like, wow.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
just
not.
With much better talent. I was like, dang. But I hate to say it. That's not the first time I've heard that. I've heard nothing but negative things about Aaron Rodgers throughout his career, that he's condescending. He doesn't know how to play with his teammates. I mean, yeah, you know, guys, he throws the touchdowns and all that other stuff. But it seems like, you know, he's not that much of a leader, which kind of makes sense because when I look at it, Green Bay should have been in the Super Bowl at least a couple of times.
Well,
but
that right there tells you that he's not Jay Cutler with more talent, because when I look at the Green Bay roster over the past couple of years, yeah, they may have a Pro Bowler or 2. But, I mean, the talent level, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers makes those people around him better. You know? I don't see where you get the Cutler comparisons at. Or, you know,
he's getting the Cutler comparisons as far as personality, not because of talent.
Oh, personality.
Yeah, that's why I was saying he was making the comparison that he is basically Jay Cutler with better talent. He's more talented, obviously.
Okay. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can agree with that assessment because of the fact that when I actually seen it a few times on the field, like, you know, he'll cuss out his lineman, but then I notice his lineman will start letting people in.
Well, you'll cuss your lineman out too if every time you drop back 7 yards, or every time you drop back 3 to 5 yards, you're getting hit in the ribs.
I mean,
oh, you got a big old 300-pounder with a 75-pound arm slapping down at you.
Hey, it is what it is. So I got the Packers winning that one. Giants, Panthers. I got the Panthers dog smashing the Giants. I got them dogs smashing them. That one's gonna be 38-14.
I don't know about dog smashing. I think the Panthers will win.
Titans, Bills. I got the Titans. That's not even a thought for me. I'm sorry.
You know what? I would pick the Titans. I mean, the numbers say pick the Titans, but I just think this is the Bills' week.
It's the Bills' week?
Yeah, I think they'll pull it off this week.
Okay, Falcons, Steelers. I got the Falcons in that one because the Steelers, after what I saw last week, I just can't see how they could stop that high-powered offense of the Falcons. Honestly, it'll be a shootout, though.
So are you saying this is the end for Tomlin? Are you saying
No,
it's
Mike
coming
Tomlin. I don't. No, see, this is one thing people got to understand about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is not going to fire Mike Tomlin. Not when he's been getting them to the playoffs and then won them a Super Bowl. He's not going to be fired. Do I think he needs to shape up that defense though? Oh yeah, no doubt. He definitely needs to shape up that defense because that defense is horrendous. But Falcons are going to definitely win that one.
I'm going to go Steelers.
All right, Browns, Ravens.
You shouldn't even have to think about that one.
Oh my God, I really should do this. I'm gonna roll with the Browns.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. I'm rolling with the dogs. I'm gonna roll with the dogs.
I'm not going to do that one. I'm going with Baltimore.
Okay. Chiefs, Jaguars. Now that's gonna be the game of the week. That is the game of the week. Number one offense versus the number one scoring defense in the NFL. I'm going to roll with the Jags. I'm going to roll with the Jags in this one. I can't see Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes in that Denver game last week, I saw a lot of things in that game that I did not like. So first off, the Broncos, all they have on defense as far as their pass rushes is Derek Wolfe and Von Miller. Derek Wolfe barely got to him. But Von Miller was all in his face. Honestly, they would have won that game if Patrick Mahomes if his offensive line didn't block for him so well, and that's how they were able to win that game. And Patrick Mahomes didn't make any mistakes. So this week, Tyreek Hill's gonna have his work cut out for him because Jalen, I love Jalen Ramsey, boy. That boy been talking all week. He was like, he made a did you hear his comments this week?
No.
So Jalen Ramsey, folks, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he was saying he only made the Pro Bowl as a return specialist, not a receiver, a return specialist. That's what Jalen Ramsey called him. He said if the guy is, and he said if Tyreek Hill wants smoke, he could get it. I was like,
but I mean, it sounds like he already given it to him. That's smoke. But I'll take this high-powered offense over the number one defense because I look at it like this: the defense may make some plays.
Yep.
Out of 5 plays, the defense may make 3 good plays. Mm-hmm. But those other 2 plays that they don't make, I give to the offense.
Yep.
And I don't think Jacksonville can nowhere near outscore Kansas City. So when I look at this game, I look at maybe a 17-10 game.
Right.
Chiefs.
All right, so let's see. Chargers, Raiders. I can't even think about that one because after what I saw from the Raiders last week, yeah, they got a win. Congratulations, but you barely scraped by a rookie quarterback. No, sorry, Chargers.
Raiders Nation, you're on the road. I'm riding with the Raiders. They finally, I think they get it now.
Now, rematch of the NFC Championship, Vikings, Eagles. I'm going to roll. I really don't want to do this. As much as it pains me to say this. I'm going to roll with the Eagles. in this one.
You like that? Kirk Cousins.
What? You going to roll with Kirk this time?
I have to because Kirk knows the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I think the Vikings overall have a pretty good team that can match up with the Eagles offensively and defensively. So I got to go with Kirk. I have to.
Yep. I find it funny. The Eagles is seeing everybody that they saw all in the playoffs last year. I just find that to be funny. So that's just me.
So Minnesota fans, get your shirts made. You like that? I think Kirk will come through the tunnel saying that at some point.
All right, now Seahawks. That's not even a thought. Rams.
You like the Seahawks?
No, I don't.
You said it's not a thought, so I figured you're going with the Seahawks.
No, I'm rolling with the Rams. That's not even a thought. Like, why am I even thinking about that? That's not a thought. Did you not see what the Rams have been doing these past couple of weeks? They undefeated for a reason. Ain't nobody gonna beat the Rams. Who gonna beat the Rams?
Oh, you forgot about Russell Wilson.
Yes, I didn't know. I didn't forget about him. I just feel bad for him. You're stuck with a team. They don't want to give you an offensive line. They don't want to give you a running back. And Earl Thomas is just gave the middle finger to his whole squad, so the defense is all in disarray. No, Seahawks ain't going nowhere. They ain't even gonna make the playoffs. Rams.
I'm going to take the Seahawks because I think this is a game that Russell Wilson, he has to control in order for the Seahawks to win. So I would expect Russell Wilson to throw for at least 250, if not more, and probably rush for somewhere between 70 to 90 yards.
Yeah, I think that's wishful thinking.
He has to.
That's wishful thinking. Cardinals, Niners, I mean, this is a nothing game because both teams ain't got no quarterback. So, but I'm going to roll with the Cardinals just off the fact they got a rookie quarterback. Maybe he shows up this game. And their defense, I mean, their defense is their defense. They still got Chandler Jones, Deion Buchanan. They still got a pretty decent defense. Just, you know, their offense is just not clicking. And plus, David Johnson's still there. I got to give respect to put some respect on that man name.
You're making this too easy for me this week, Shane. Of course I'm not going with the Cardinals. Are you crazy? The 49ers. Absolutely the 49ers.
Who the 49ers got on defense? Because Patrick Willis is gone. This is
what I'm looking at.
Let's see. Justin Smith is gone. Mr. Alden, I can't stay off the weed. Smith is gone too.
Who can score?
Obviously, the Cardinals can.
Can the 49ers score? You know, I mean, the 49ers offense, and I love Shanahan. So when I think 49ers, I think offense, and I think this will be a nasty, rugged game. But I think at the end of the fourth quarter, I think the 49ers will be leading on the scoreboard. I don't know about how many points, but I think they will outscore the Cardinals.
Okay. Battle of Texas. Texans, Cowboys. Your thoughts?
You already know who I'm picking.
Texans.
Absolutely the Texans. I will never, ever pick the Cowboys to win. I did that one time in my whole lifetime when Redskin Nation needed the Cowboys to win a game, and they couldn't do it. And that was, I forgot what year that was, but we needed the Cowboys to beat the Giants, I believe, or whatever it was, so that we can get into the playoffs. They couldn't do it. Never will I vote for the Cowboys, ever.
Yeah.
I'll stay silent. When I think the Cowboys are going to win, I'll just stay silent. I won't even mention the name. Texans.
If I had to choose between these two.
This is the battle of Texas.
It is.
It's a big game.
It's a big game. Both teams got some interesting offenses, you know. You know, you got Zeke on one side with Dak in the back. With Dak as the quarterback? But there's just one, and then you know that that vaunted Dallas defense with
okay, bro, here it come.
With DeMarcus Lawrence and you know and Randy Gregory and all those boys over there. Except there's one problem. I gotta go with the Texans because I don't see anybody gonna cover. Who gonna cover DeAndre Hopkins?
That is a shock. I thought for sure you were gonna say the Cowboys. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well the Cowboys must be his second team.
Nah, I'm not picking the Cowboys. There's no way you could get me to pick the Cowboys. First off, Deshaun Watson, he's a heck of a quarterback. Problem is he's not getting the time he needs in order to get through his reads. Then but I think this is the week they get it together. And then on top of it, they have a decent running game. They got receivers for days. I mean, Will Fuller, DeAndre Hopkins. The guy's got receivers for days, so there's really no excuse why he can't be successful. And then the defensive side of the ball, you got Jonathan Joseph, you got the Honey Badger. I mean, you got my man Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt. Those two guys combined for 20 tackles for loss, which is best in the NFL right now.
How many sacks would J.J. Watts have this week?
Oh, that's a good question. How many sacks could he get this week?
I'm going to go the over and under. I'm going to say 3.
You want to say 3 sacks?
I'm going to say 3 sacks.
I think he'll get 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get 3.
And who's the backup quarterback in Dallas? Because get him ready.
Yeah. I think Mark Sanchez ain't playing for them no more. So I thought it was Buff Fumble. Nah, maybe not.
Who?
Buff Fumble. Did Buff Fumble? No, wait. Buff Fumble went to Denver. So, yeah, he ain't there. I don't know who they got. All right. Saints and Redskins. everybody's going to call me crazy for this pick, but I actually have a reason for picking them. I'm going to go with the Skins, and here's why. The Saints, I saw something last week that I didn't like about them. They really need a power running game in order for that team to really get going. Because otherwise, if you end up on a shootout, and I hate to say this, Alex Smith doesn't turn over the football like that. He don't. And he rarely makes mistakes. Now, you might get him in a 3-and-out. You probably will get him in that. But that Saints defense ain't good enough to stop the Redskins offense. That's just my opinion. Couple that with Adrian Peterson, who's going to look to run all over the Saints after what happened to him in New Orleans. So he's going to be, this is a revenge game for him. So he's going to look, and then, I'm sorry, I'm not going to mess with those two big cheesesteak, corn-fed boys, Deron Payne, okay, and my man, what's the other one? I didn't forgot his name already. Oh my gosh,
Jonathan Allen.
Them two Alabama boys. How you gonna run on that?
And don't forget about the linebacker.
Oh, Riley.
No, Anderson.
Oh yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, and they got another linebacker that comes off this play special team from Alabama and comes off the bench.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why I said there's no way you could tell me.
So you're picking the Skins.
I'm going with the Skins.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you why he's picking the Skins. At 2:45 a.m. Wednesday morning, I received a text on my phone and it asks, is there one more seat left on the bus? I did not understand it at the time. Now it's clear. As a Redskin fan, I am not going to bet. I'm not going to go with my heart. I think Kamara is going to be absolutely too much for our linebackers. He's too much. And then we're talking about a Hall of Fame quarterback who likes to air it out. It's too much. It's too much for our defense. I hope the Redskins win, but if you have to bet your money, do not bet with the Redskins. New Orleans Saints should win this game. They should win this game, and they should win this game big.
All right, folks. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna have a lot more things to talk to you guys about today. So don't go anywhere in the No BS Show.
When's the last time someone said thanks for checking over your shoulder before changing lanes? Or gave you a pat on the back for sticking to the speed limit? Or a thumbs up for not tailgating? Probably never. Which is too bad considering safe drivers make the roads safer for everyone. That's why Allstate appreciates safe drivers like no one else. And they show it by saving you 45% or more, along with giving you safe driving bonus checks, deductible rewards, and extra discounts with the DriveWise app. So the next time you come to a complete stop in an intersection, ask yourself, why haven't I switched to Allstate?
The Brandeo Insurance Group, your local DMV Allstate agent, can help you save 45% or more for driving safely. Call him at 410-424-0844 and get a quote today.
It pays to drive safely. Call a local Allstate agent today and find out how you can save 45% or more. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the NCAA. We're going to talk about college football.
Whoa. I have to say something before we even start.
Go ahead.
Everybody who's been following the show knows that I said Penn State will eventually be ranked number 1 in the country. This past loss against Ohio State, which was a great game, and Penn State should have won this game. Without a doubt, they were in control of this game. But I'm not going to give up on Penn State. They may not be number 1 ranked in the country, but what I would say is that when it comes conference championship, they may be right there.
Yeah, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
If they beat Ohio State last week, they moved from number 8 probably all the way up to like maybe number 4 or 3.
That's cute. You're still missing the point. Penn State, I've been saying this for the longest. They're going to have a tough time, and especially after this year, because I think Tracy McSorley is a senior. So they're going to have to revamp that offense behind a new quarterback. So I don't know who that quarterback is going to be, but I can almost guarantee you he probably ain't going to be Tracy McSorley. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, Urban Meyer, first off, usually is always going to already have something. Do you know who that man hangs out with on a regular basis? He hangs out with the best coach in the NFL.
Who,
And-
the best coach in the NFL? You talking Jake Gruden?
No, I'm talking about Bill Belichick.
Well, I don't know how you figure he's the best coach in the NFL because I see guys like Andy Reid still coaching too.
I'm sorry, last time I checked, Andy Reid don't got 5 rings. 5 rings as a head coach. But wait, how many as
Yes,
a
you got a
defensive
point
coordinator?
there.
And not to mention, he got 2 as a defensive coordinator for the New York Giants that beat your Redskins on his way, their way to the Super
So
Bowl.
are you saying that you can't compare Andy Reid to Belichick?
No, you
Really?
cannot. How? Andy Reid. When has Andy Reid won a Super Bowl?
Okay, how many NFC championships?
He's been to a bunch. I'm not going to act like he hasn't, but at the same time, have you won it all? No.
How many teams?
As a head coach, you are measured by how many you win. You want to know why the name Vince Lombardi is on that trophy? It's not just because of the Packers tradition and all that. The man won 3 rings. Like, what do you want him to do? That's what it is. Sorry, your name just doesn't. You don't get named one of the best coaches in the league without winning some rings. Sean Payton, to me, is one of the best coaches in the league. Why? Not only he won a ring, but he brought a ring to a team that literally, if you look at the Saints at where they were at that time because of the Katrina situation, the team was horrible. That team hadn't even seen the NFC Championship before that. They haven't even seen it. But as soon as you get there, they going all the time. And now New Orleans fans are always like, all right, so we already know we're going to the playoffs. When we going to the Super Bowl? That's all they think about now. They don't think about nothing else. When you can honestly say, like, dang, when can we get back to the Super Bowl? That tells me how great of a coach you are. Andy Reid, I just wonder if he's ever even gonna get back to the Super Bowl at all, because he hasn't been back there ever since he lost.
Well, this is the thing. I know people. You rate and rank coaches by Super Bowl rings. I'm looking at a coach that wherever he goes, like even at Kansas City, there's a winning tradition. They're expected to be in the playoffs. They're expected to go far. The same as when he was in Philadelphia. Now, that's not a coach that deserves the respect to be recognized
it
as
wasn't
one of
always
the
peaches
best.
and cream with the Chiefs, though. I mean, in the beginning, he didn't win much. So let's get that honest.
I don't think he had a losing season since he's been with the Chiefs.
He hasn't had a losing season, but in his first year, he didn't make the playoffs. You can't say that.
But before he got there, the Chiefs were at the bottom of the barrel.
They were.
When he got the Chiefs are relevant now. Ever since he's been there.
Yeah, they are relevant, but you still missed the point. I want to see that man win a ring. Now, when he wins a ring, then we'll have a different conversation. But he hasn't won one yet. Okay. See, Urban Meyer, how many?
So should we rename the trophy?
I mean, there actually has been talk about renaming the trophy, but I mean, they're not going to do that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there actually has been talk about the.
And what the name of the trophy would be?
Hey, we call it the Bill Belichick Trophy. Now, me personally, I think they should just keep it the way it is. I don't think they should change it, but you know.
But you know what? Eventually, they're going to have to recognize him in some type of way.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They're going to have to.
But the thing about Belichick is he's one of those coaches. I think he's going to die coaching. I honestly believe that. He's one of those coaches that, like, he's been in the league for so long. It's the same with Dick LeBeau. I think Dick LeBeau is one of the best defensive coordinators we've ever seen in the history of football. But here's the thing. He ain't stopped coaching. He's still coaching with the Titans. I said he's going to die coaching. It's going to be the same thing with Belichick. He probably will die coaching.
I hope not, because
I hope not either. But
if that's the case,
yeah,
then I mean he got a short life because I'm telling you, this 10-6 season is going to give him a heart attack. If it's 10-6, maybe 9-7.
Yeah, the last time the Patriots was 9-7 was 2002. So, yeah. Anyway, so ATAA top 5 games to watch. Look, I'm just gonna flat out say it. This week is gonna be interesting. So, I'm looking at the top 25. The one game that stands out to me, LSU and Florida. Because they got to go to Florida. And do I think that LSU will beat them? Most likely, because they actually have a really good quarterback now. Because in LSU's history, and you've seen this throughout the history of LSU, usually their quarterbacks are usually not that great. I mean, you remember Ryan Perrilloux, who couldn't get it together. Jamarcus Russell, Mister, I can throw 70 yards on one knee, but then when I get to the NFL, get like $70 million guaranteed money, and then I start eating cheesesteaks for the rest of my life, and I'm bigger than my lineman. So LSU quarterbacks have just never been good until recently. And then now, you look at the team today. I mean, their receivers is on point. They got a decent running game. They got a great their defense. I mean, LSU has always had a good defense. And I mean, the game, I always tell people, like, I don't care who LSU really plays. I care when they play Alabama. Because that's always the game that you always got to watch out for. But they're not playing them this week, so
they're playing
Florida. I think that's going to be a game to watch because there might be an upset alert. You going with the Gators? Ooh, you were disrespectful.
Gators at home.
You were disrespectful. You were so disrespectful. You really cannot sit here and tell me that you believe that Florida is really going to be.
I'm going to be disrespectful today because you don't believe. But
No.
after this weekend, I'll be a genius.
No, you won't. Now, this is a team that the second game to watch, ladies and gentlemen. This is for the local area, for the DMV.
Oh, you're talking about Michigan.
Nope. I'm not talking about that. Michigan probably about to dog smack Maryland, but
What?
they probably about to dog smack them. So
What have you been drinking today? Did you drink a smoothie or did you go to the?
I have a bit of a headache right now, so that's probably why. But
Oh my God,
because I'm too busy trying to think about who's really going to be good. But honestly, I think there's going to be an upset alert this week, and that's going to be Virginia Tech versus Notre Dame. VTech is at home. Everybody knows you cannot march into Virginia Tech and walk out alive. Everybody knows that. Granted, VTech had that one loss to ODU, and that shouldn't have happened, honestly, because I think with teams like ODU, you probably look over them because it's like it's ODU. Like, who cares? Like, nobody cares about this team. We probably gonna beat these boys easy. And then they found out real quickly, oh snap, they're actually scoring. And we're having problems tackling. And on top of that, we're cussing each other out on the sideline. Now we got problems. This week, they're playing a big opponent at home in front of their home crowd. VTech's winning this one.
So all of those problems are just gone.
Yeah.
The missed tackles, the arguing, all of it, you just wipe it away.
Yeah, I think you can wipe that away because it only happened for a short period of time. I don't think it's gonna go down like everybody thinks it's gonna go down. I think VTech is gonna win this one for sure. I think they're gonna win that one, and it's gonna be high scoring because Notre Dame, because Coach Brian Kelly, he's a heck of a coach. We've all seen Brian Kelly throughout the years. He's been a heck of a coach. I think that when he sees this team, he's probably going to tell his guys, we need to score, and score early. Because if we don't score early, VTech will be right with us. But if they're not above VTech by halftime, it's going to be a long night for Notre Dame.
You know, I agree with you that it will be a high-scoring game. The only thing is it's going to be one-sided.
Okay.
Notre Dame.
Oh, my goodness. This man right here.
There's no way you're going into a big game against a big school, powerhouse school with all these issues and expect to win. No, absolutely not. That problem that they're having now is only going to get worse.
You know, a lot of people said that about Notre Dame in the past, and Notre Dame be ranked like number 2 in the country, and they'll lose to a team that's unranked. So I mean,
that was in the past.
Okay, no. This is who they are. This is why I don't understand why the NCAA keeps on ranking Notre Dame.
They're fighting average.
No,
they fight. They're average. They're fighting average.
No.
Yes.
No. All right. So another game I think is going to be worth watching. I believe it's going to be worth watching. The Red River rivalry, my Sooners against the Texas Longhorns. I want to say my Sooners are going to win for some strange reason because I know Texas all too darn well. Something is up with these Longhorns.
See, that right there brings me to another situation, though. even Texas is faking or Maryland is good, which means Maryland will beat Michigan and Texas will win their game Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, you can't have this both ways. If
Yeah, I
Texas
can.
is good, then Maryland must be pretty good too. So not to give Maryland a chance against Michigan.
I hate to say this, the Big Ten in general is just better than the Big 12. Period. Always has been. I always say to people, if you look at all the college football divisions, the toughest conferences, to me, number one toughest conference is the SEC. Obviously, that's the toughest football conference ever, and then right behind them definitely is the Big Ten. Because first off, when you look at the national championships in these past years, all of them have either been SEC, Big Ten, or the ACC. Always. You don't see these. You don't see no Big 12 team in there. They'll get to the college football playoff ever since the college football playoff system started. They'll get there, but they are not getting to the chip. It's always an ACC or a Big Ten or an ACC and an SEC team. Always has been. I mean, look at the fact that Alabama's always in there. You saw Georgia and Alabama in there last year. Then you got Ohio State that's been in there a couple of times. Okay. And then on the ACC side, it's been Florida State and Clemson running things in the ACC. So at the end of the day, can't. Nope. Sorry. Just saying. Your thoughts.
I think you said it all. I think you said exactly what you spoke truth. Texas is a good team, and Maryland will beat Michigan. You said everything right
They're
there.
not gonna beat Michigan. Jim Harbaugh is not gonna have that. Like
So-
that's just what it is.
So Maryland has played some good football this year. They beat Texas. Okay, they lost that one game to was it Temple?
Yeah,
They lost to
they
Temple.
got smacked by Temple. By the way,
Well, you know they
that was bad. It was
that,
really
that,
bad.
that was a bad loss. But I expect Maryland to break through this top 25. And when I say break through it, I mean break through the top 25. And at some point during this season,
Well, all I know is Ty Johnson and Lorenzo Harrison need to be fed the ball. That's all I need to know. Maryland needs to feed Ty Johnson and Lorenzo Harrison the ball. Feed them to the ball, and they'll be straight. Other than that, because the receivers are not the same. DJ Moore now is in the NFL with the Panthers, and their linebackers are not the same either because Shane Carkle's not there. Not to mention, man Jermaine Carter
they
Jr. is there.
they got the new guy there. And he should play this week, number 0,
And who's this?
Hector.
There is one guy that I am looking forward to watching though, and that's going to be Isaiah Davis, who is the brother of Sean Davis of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see what happens. I want to see how this team looks. I mean, and see how this defense plays. And if this team plays well, they could beat Michigan because, Michigan, for some strange reason, they can't throw the football. They're having a real tough time throwing the football. They can run, but they're having a real tough time throwing the football. Anyways, folks, in the interest of time, we are going to go ahead and move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it gets interesting. So, I'm just gonna bring it up because this is real. This is where it gets fun and quite interesting. The number to call is gonna be 301-429-9247. That's gonna be the number to call. What I want you guys to do is get ready, and I want you to see my man Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. The fight is gonna happen this December. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be spectacular. Now I want you guys to understand something, okay? Deontay, 40-0, 39 knockouts. This man is the truth. But then you got this man Tyson Fury, who's 27-0. 30 years old. And they were talking real reckless. Mr. Unregulated. Your thoughts?
Well, it's the fight game, so of course I expect him to talk reckless because after this fight and all the blows to the head, his speech may not be coordinated as it is now. You talk now.
Or it's just what you trying to say? The man are gonna be eating through straws? That's what you trying to say?
Eating through straws, in concussion protocol, Maybe wearing some rib pads or something. I mean, this man is going to get pounded. He's going to get whooped. If there will be no rematch, this is going to be a flat out butt kicking, and then Wilder will move on to the next.
All right. The stats show that Wilder's 40-0. 39 knockouts. There's a reason why that man got 39 knockouts, because nobody want to see this dude. Tyson Fury is 27-0. These guys are around the same height, 6'7". I think Tyson Fury is like 6'8", 6'9". I think he's 6'8". I think this is what scares me the most about this fight. This is probably going to go all 12 rounds. This is not going to be your typical heavyweight blow for blow. This is going to be bloody.
Ooh.
This one's going to be bloody. I want everybody to be prepared.
It can't go 12 rounds. It can't.
It can't.
It can't.
But it probably isn't.
If it does, Wilder loses.
I mean, he went 12 rounds in the last fight and he won.
But who did he fight?
Yes, he fought Ortiz, but don't make it seem like Ortiz was a bum, because he wasn't.
If this fight goes 12 rounds, I don't have a good feeling about that. I'm predicting that Wilder beats this guy so bad by the 6th or 7th round, this fight is over with. Over. Now, but if Wilder has to take the blows from Tyson, then that's a game changer. I don't know if Wilder can withstand 12 rounds of physicality with this guy. So that's why I'm thinking this has to be over with before the 8th round. Before the 8th round, the 6th or the 7th round is probably going to be over with. But yeah, I haven't seen anyone really test Wilder.
I haven't seen nobody test Wilder either. But at the same time, the fighter that he wants to fight doesn't even want to fight him right now. I mean, Joshua don't want to see him because Joshua know what it is. Joshua knows he's about to face a dog. That's a pit bull mixed with a Rottweiler. You want to get in the ring with that? The only one that's willing to step up is Tyson Fury, and I give it to Tyson, because you know why? Because he's like, I'm not gonna back down for no fight like all these other fighters. He ain't backing down. I'm gonna step in the ring with him. So no matter what the outcome is, and although I expect Wilder to win, I at least got respect for Tyson for even stepping in the ring. Because right now, his record is on the line here. If he loses, he goes to 27-1 after being out of boxing for 2 years. And then everybody's going to be looking at him like, why'd you come? Is it finally come back after 2 years?
Because he's doing what most boxers want to do. They want a big payday. This is about the biggest payday he's going to see. And if he can somehow pull it off, then he's looking forward to another big payday. I mean, if you don't jump in here and put your name in here and take this fight, then you're still fighting for $100,000, which you got to split between your team.
Still, I'm just saying. Well, here's the thing. Wilder's a heck of a boxer, and I'm gonna leave it like this. Wilder is arguably one of the best heavyweights I've seen in a long time. Because the last great heavyweight outside of Mike Tyson, the Evander Holyfields of the world, Muhammad Ali was the greatest.
Now you leaving somebody out, bro. I can't let you do that.
Who am I leaving out?
You leaving out Larry Holmes.
And nobody.
And you left out Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis,
yeah. But you have to recognize these people. Especially Larry Holmes. Now, don't be disrespectful to Larry Holmes, because his jab reaches very far.
It does reach very.
That's what he's known for, that jab.
Yeah, he's very known for that jab.
Let me slide over a little bit because.
Yeah, you're right. He is known for that jab, but he ain't known for knocking people out.
But this is different. This is a different time.
In first round.
This is a different time.
No. Because see, Mike, you didn't want to step into that ring with him because you knew you was getting your teeth knocked out. That's just what it is. You knew the fight would be over by the end of the first round. It's the same thing with Wilder. You knew that the fight was probably going to be over within the first couple of rounds.
Yeah, you knew that because the people that you brought in the fight, the guy was working at KFC 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, he had a couple of fights with some.
But
some
you can't really
names,
say that about Ortiz in his previous fights because those fighters have been fighting all the way up until they fought Wilder. The only one that he has fought that he's about to fight that even falls into that category you just talked about is this dude. That's it.
Well, let me back up. I thought you were talking about the great Mike Tyson when you were talking about the greatest heavyweights. I thought you were still talking about Mike Tyson.
You're being disrespectful to my man Mike, but you know what? It's all good.
No, I like Mike.
It's all good.
Mike won off of fear, and Mike won off of guys. You know that was doing it in the baggage claim and Popeyes and all of that stuff. You know, so I mean, you know.
Like I said, you disrespectful. We're gonna go ahead and move forward. We already know who's gonna win this one. I mean, it's very obvious.
So who you think gonna win?
Wilder. It's not even a thought.
Okay, will it be a knockout or will it go 12 rounds?
I think it'll be a knockout, but I think it'll be a knockout by the 9th round.
I think it'll be a knockout as well, and I'll go with Wilder as well. Anything past the 9th, 8th round,
he might be in trouble.
Yeah, he might.
I'll be the first to say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about some other stuff. So, this is why I was like, I'm gonna say this for you. Are the Chiefs and the Rams for real? It's unregulated. Your thoughts?
I definitely think the Rams are for real. I think they can be beat, you know, but I think they're for real. The Chiefs, I like the Chiefs. I like what they're doing. I respect the coaching staff. But if this was a head-to-head matchup, you know, honestly, I would go with the Rams.
See, this is the thing. It's funny that you say that, and that's exactly what I was thinking. So let me throw out some stats to you. So here's the thing, right? The Rams' offense is the number 2 offense in the NFL, right? But their defense is number 5 in the NFL. So you know what that says? Not only they're scoring, but they're keeping their opponents not scoring a lot of points. The only team that really dropped a lot of points on them was the Vikings. When you look at all their games, the only team that dropped like a lot of points on them was the Vikings, and that's honestly why their defensive ranking actually went down because of that game, because they dropped 31 points. But other than that, they're not giving up too many points. They're basically only giving up maybe 16, 17 points a game. That's nothing. These guys are dropping at least 30 something, and then the Chiefs. Well, I mean, it's Kansas City. They have the number 1 offense in the NFL, but have the number 25 defense. That concerns me. Because I said to people there was only one team that made it to the Super Bowl on a defense that was really, really bad, and that was the New England Patriots when they marched in the 2011 Super Bowl with the number 1 offense with the dead last defense, which was almost impossible.
2011.
Yeah.
Is that the year where they had the wide receivers playing cornerback? Yeah, that was an amazing year right there. I mean, they did all kinds of crazy things that year.
Yeah, they did, and it was really bad. It was because we had so many injuries at corner, and then on top of that, they marched in. They played the Giants, and unfortunately, the Giants beat us in that Super Bowl because we did get everybody back healthy, but the Giants ended up winning that Super Bowl 21-17, and Gronkowski played, but didn't really help much because he was still like 50% healthy. So it is what it is. So, but that's the only team I've ever seen ever do that. And so that's why, if I had to choose which team is definitely for real, no doubt the LA Rams. I've seen a lot of teams. That team is talented at literally every level. They have, great offensive line. Their offensive line blocks. Then they have great receivers. Okay, Sammy Watkins is out right now. I'm sorry, Sammy Watkins is not with them. No, I'm sorry. Brandon Cooks is killing. But then they also got Cooper Kupp, and Kupp is a monster. That dude can catch some balls. They got a really decent tight end. Todd Gurley is arguably one of the best running backs. Is one of the top 3 backs in the game right now, along with Ezekiel Elliott and Le'Veon Bell. But Le'Veon Bell obviously is not playing this season, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And then you look at their defense. I mean, the D-line alone. I mean, Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, they're both going to take 2 every time. So that means somebody going to come free. Somebody going to go get sacks. Then you look at the Rams linebackers. I mean, I don't like their linebackers outside of Littleton. I think Littleton is an excellent linebacker. I think he could definitely make some tackles for him, make some plays. I like him. But then their secondary. Akeem Talib, Marcus Peters, LaMarcus Joyner. It's just unreal the kind of stuff that these guys do. And, yeah. So, I got to go with the Rams. That's just ridiculous. I think they just arguably got some of the most firepower out of any NFL football team I've seen this season. And the thing is that if I had to choose an NFC team that I don't want to see in the Super Bowl, I don't want to see them.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking, and is it okay if I do my big hand impersonation? Mm-hmm. My Dick Vitale?
Yes.
It's awesome, baby! What you see here is the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams. They need more PT, baby! Give them more PT, baby! You've witnessed it here on No BS. Ladies and gentlemen, what you see right here, it's not a coincidence. This may be your Super Bowl matchup. Yep. This may very well be your Super Bowl matchup. Remember that. You've seen it here first.
Yep. And in the interest of time, we're going to move on to our very last topic, which is baseball.
Amazing.
So, man, baseball is going to be really interesting.
It is, because the Red Sox are not going nowhere.
So you think. So right now, you know, you got the Red Sox in there. They're gonna play the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees. Yes, there we go. So they'll be playing the New York Yankees. The only way the Yankees are gonna beat this Red Sox team is if Aaron Judge has the game of his life, and them outfielders is catching everything from Mookie Betts and JD Martinez, because otherwise they're about to start hitting everything out the park. So now the only team I'm worried about, because nobody's paying any attention to them, is definitely the Astros. It's the only team I'm worried about. The Astros, I don't know what it is. Because there's only 3 teams this year that got over 100 wins. The Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Astros. The Astros have 100 wins. The Yankees got 102 wins. And the Red Sox, well, they have 108. Not too many teams can say that they got that many wins.
Well, I guess now it's time for me to give you my Brian Williams. Now that I gave you the Dick Vitale. Well, the World Series is coming. We do not yet know who will be in the World Series. We do know the teams that are in the playoffs. We know one of those teams in the playoffs in the AL will be the Boston Red Sox. And then we look over into the NL, and we see Cubs. And all around the world, all around this great nation, we share in this lovely sport. I have nothing else to say, because, I mean, what is it to say besides the fact that coming out of the, you just have no idea who's coming out of the AL. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you just don't. The records say one thing, but we're talking about playoffs, man. Playoffs.
Yeah, you know, I hear you, but here's the thing. Correction, by the way, it's actually the Astros that have 103 wins and the Yankees have 100 wins. Correction.
And you disrespect the Yankees?
Yep. Nah, Mac. I mean, those are the facts. I mean,
Did you really disrespect the Yankees?
Yes. Well, that is.
Did you have a hiccup when you were saying Yankees and it came out stankies or something? I mean,
the New York Stankies. I mean, you talk to any Red Sox fan, they cannot stand the Yankees. That is the most bloodiest rivalry. I mean, even when the Yankees won their last game, they literally just was chanting, "We won Boston. We won Boston." I'm like, you can want Boston all you want. That doesn't mean you're gonna beat them.
well, I mean, what are the Yankees known for? New York is known for what? Philly is known for the steak and cheese. What is New York known for?
Pizza.
Pizza. Exactly. And what do you all have up in Boston?
Oh, let's not talk about don't talk about my clam chowder. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not
Don't
talking
do
about.
that.
I'm not talking
Don't do
about
that.
clam chowder. What I'm talking about is pizza. The pizza needs cheese. So the Yankees love to come up to Boston and do what they do and leave back with all the cheese. I mean, the Kraft is up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
they need
you got
cheese.
jokes. You try to go in on Kraft. Look, Red Sox is gonna win that series. Honestly, I think, in my opinion, they're probably gonna sweep the Yankees. So it don't matter.
Oh my God! I can see that. It's going to be a bad day for you when the Red Sox get eliminated. You're going to be in here, and I can say, "I'm Shane. What's wrong?"
I'm just gonna say.
This was going to happen. People.
I'm gonna be sitting here gloating. Now I'm gonna tell you what it is, because who on the Yankees is gonna stop Mookie Betts? Who gonna stop him? Who gonna stop JD Martinez from hitting that ball?
That sounds all good, but guess what? I'm gonna say, Shane, what's wrong? And this is what Shane is gonna say to me. He's gonna look at me. He's gonna say, "Call me Mr. Hector."
And who's gonna and as far as I'm concerned, I got one of the best pitchers in the game in David Price. So do you really believe? If you really believe that this Yankees team is gonna beat this Red Sox team, then I applaud you for having some faith.
I think you have to look at history. And you have to look at.
I've looked at history, and history has shown that in the recent years that we've been smacking the Yankees left and right.
So when you
in recent years, now years past before the curse of the Great Bambino, that was a different story.
So when you look at history, you got to say, okay, well, these numbers may not really matter because these two teams are going to go in at full throttle, and the numbers. I mean, they're not going to see numbers. They're going to see red, and the red is going to see blue. So I mean, they're going to go in it, and both of these teams are going to fight like this is the last fight to be fought. So I mean, the numbers. I throw the numbers out the window.
So you got
this is big. This is the United States. This is the sport of the United States. This is the big sport. This is a big time game. Numbers don't matter.
All right. So who you got?
I'll tell you that later. Well, you know what? Just because you like Boston, I'm going to go against them. Just because. There
it is, folks. He's going to choose the New York Yankees. I'm sorry. He's going to choose the Yankees. I'm going with the Red Sox. I call it a sweep. All right, folks. I want to thank you all for tuning into the show today. I want you guys to go ahead and look at our social media. I want you guys to go ahead and follow us on Facebook. And also follow our YouTube page. So I want you to subscribe to YouTube. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. There it is. I want you guys to go ahead and look at that. Then I want you to go ahead and look at our Facebook page at No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group. Also, I want you to follow us on Blogger. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk.blogspot.com. Look out for some articles because I'm going to have some articles coming out this week. And follow me on social media. Shane Hector, Facebook, Insane_Shane29 and Underground SP29 on Twitter. Shiz_29 and No BS, No Holds Barred on my Instagram as well. Underground Sports LLC.blogspot.com. Mr. Unregulated, your social media.
In the interest of time, my social media is Father Daddy 3 on Instagram or Mr. Unregulated for you.
Yep, and then if you guys want to advertise with the show, go ahead and contact Underground Spells LLC at gmail.com. And here's the thing, I want to give a big shout out to my alma mater, the Morgan State University. This weekend, Bears, baby, all day. Let's
go.
get it.
Let's
No
go,
BS
Golden
is
State.
out. Bye.
Yeah.